Hello everyone and welcome back to the IMS BBA YouTube channel. Today we are just 30 days away from the Maharashtra CET for BBA, BMS, BCA and BBM programs. In this video, we will be looking at the previous year's paper pattern, what was the cutoff last year and what should be the preparation plan for each and every section for the next 30 days. Let us start with the paper pattern. Knowing the right paper pattern is always the first step to ace any aptitude examination. Now, last year in Maharashtra CET, there were 40 questions in English language, 30 questions in reasoning, which was a mix of both verbal and arithmetic reasoning. 15 questions were in general knowledge and awareness section, 15 questions in computer basics. In total, you had 100 questions. The time limit for this paper was only 90 minutes. Now it may sound less, but this paper was actually easy, where students reported that they could also complete the entire paper in 80 minutes. Now the marking scheme for this exam pretty straightforward, where you get +1 for every correct answer and there is no negative marking, so you need not worry about your mistakes. Now let us look at the cutoff. Yes, at the first look, these cutoffs are scary. Now, for Jahind College, for the BBA course, in general and open, the cutoff was 99.69 or 99.7 percentile. For female and open, it was 99.58 percentile. NM College, another top college in Mumbai, for their BMS program, for general and open, the cutoff is 99.54. For female, it is way more, it is 99.63 percentile. Now, for Mitibai College and Jain College, for their BMS programs, for general and open, the cutoff was 99.4. For female and open, it was again more than 99.2 percentile. These cutoffs are extremely high because the paper was easy. So, this means that you need to be extremely careful and well prepared to get this high percentile and ace this examination. I would advise that you can just pause this video for 1 second and take a screenshot of all the cutoffs for your future reference. Now, moving on to the strategy, how do you achieve this high percentile? First thing, you need to understand that this is an examination of speed as well as accuracy. Yes, there is no negative marking, but if you don't get questions right, there is no use of even attempting. So you have to go quickly, but don't forget you have to have very high accuracy to get this high percentiles. Next, every student was somewhere comfortable in the English as well as the reasoning section. So if everybody is scoring good in those sections, the percentile and ranks are actually decided through the general knowledge and computer basics section. And it is critical that you are thoroughly memorizing this, because this is going to be the difference on the main day. Now, you should never be fixated on a particular question. You already are running on very low time. If you get fixated on one question, and let us say you spend 5 minutes to get it right, even if you get it right, you have only secured 1 mark. And because you have spent so much time here, now suddenly you will be in this panic situation where you have less time for more questions. And in that rush, you will definitely impact your accuracy. And now when you will impact your accuracy, again your chances of securing those top colleges and courses goes away. So be careful that you are not fixated on any particular question. Ideal attempts, like I mentioned, students were able to complete this paper even 10 minutes before the time limit. So it is expected that each one of you should attempt the entire paper with a minimum of 90% accuracy, so that you are securing your admission in the top colleges. Now, let us look at each individual section and understand what was the weightage to different kind of questions in those sections. Starting with English, where in total you had 40 questions, out of which 12 to 14 questions were in reading comprehension. 3 to 4 questions were from phrasal verbs, 4 to 5 questions were on tenses, 4 to 5 again very easy questions on prepositions, 5 to 6 questions were on antonyms and synonyms. So you need to be very good with your vocabulary to get these questions right. Now 7 to 8 questions were on fill in the blanks, which were based on the basic concepts of grammar. Overall, this section was pretty easy and all the students could attempt all 40 questions and with a very high accuracy. Now, with the reasoning section, we have arrangement sets where we have linear arrangement, circular arrangement, people sitting across a circular table with conditions. Also, some set were on matrix arrangement. Now, there were total 10 to 12 very easy questions. 4 to 5 questions were on sequence and series, where 5 to 6 terms were given in a particular series. You had to first identify the pattern and you had to find the next term. Now 4 to 5 questions were on coding, decoding, pretty basic questions. 2 to 3 on your blood relation and family tree. Now in arithmetic, we only had 3 to 4 basic questions. And these questions were also very easy to solve. So even if you fear quants or you are not very comfortable with those particular topics in quants, you need not worry because the weightage to those questions was pretty less last year. Now, let us move on to the general knowledge and awareness. The 15 questions were framed from this particular topic, where there were few questions based on Nobel Prize, few questions were from the Olympics which took place last year, then we had few questions on Banks of India, few questions were on the location of known places, few questions were on the crops which are grown in India, in which seasons they are grown and in which particular states are they grown. Then there were pretty easy questions on important dates which are of significance not only in India but also important dates in the global scenario. Next, we have computer basics. In computer basics, we had easy questions coming on basic input output devices, then data storage devices. Next, full form. So acronym was mentioned and you were asked the full form. So for example, there was a question that what is the full form of SST and so on. Then there were few questions on memory, that 1 MB should be how many KB and so forth. Students said that if they did the IMS compendium for computer basics thoroughly, they were able to get answers to each and every question and they were pretty basic. So this brings us to the next 30 days plan. We will divide this 30 days plan into 4 weeks. So for the first 3 weeks, we have a similar plan for each and every week, where every Monday and Thursday you write a mock. Now, why is writing mock important? Because when you write a mock, you are actually getting comfortable with the paper pattern of a particular test. Plus, many a time students report that the questions were easy, but they just got it wrong because they were running out of time or because there was no time only left to attend that easy questions. So to navigate through all these difficulties, if you give mocks, it makes sure that on the main day, you are not going to encounter these difficulties. Now, just writing mock is never enough. Once you have written the mock, you are advised to thoroughly analyze each and every section, each and every question. Now, when you have analyzed that, you can actually identify your strengths, your weaknesses, you can work more on the weaker topics, you can make sure that if you got a question right, but taking more time, so for those chapters or topics, you can identify and learn the shortcuts. Now, after we have given the mock on Monday and Thursday, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, daily you need to do 40 questions from English, again with a timer, so that if you are putting a timer, you are actually working on your speed at the same time. 40 questions on reasoning daily. 1 hour should be spent on reading the IMS compendium for general knowledge and awareness. 30 minutes in a day should be spent on computer basics compendium. This activity will be followed throughout week 1, week 2 and week 3, bringing us to week 4. Now on Monday you will again write a mock, analyze, save activity. But on Tuesday and Wednesday, this time you will not write or you will not solve questions, but because you have given in the previous week 6 plus on the week 4 Monday one more 7th mock, you will analyze all the 7 mocks together. Now you have enough data to identify which section you are actually scoring very high and in terms of both score and accuracy, versus in which section you are actually spending more time but not able to capitalize on that particular section and score high. So using this particular data, you can create a strategy where you can decide which section you want to begin with. Inside a section, which kind of questions you want to start first and which questions you will keep for the last part. Now, a strategy is always important to ace any aptitude examination. You can definitely take help of your mentors to finalize your strategy and make it more better. Once you have created a strategy on Tuesday and Wednesday, this time when you write a mock on Thursday, make sure that you are implementing that strategy in this mock. Then see what score do you get. If you're getting a high score which is more than any of the previous mock, we know that our strategies are working. If we get the same score, we know that the strategy is okay, but it can be better to overall improve your score. If your score is less, it means that the strategy which you created is actually not working out to the best way it is possible. So now in all these three scenarios, Friday and Saturday, you will refine the strategy based on the performance on the Thursday mock. Now, once you are done with a final strategy, you have done your task. On the last day, which is on Sunday or any time before any examination, make sure that one day before the test, you are having enough rest. You need to make sure that you are getting a good sleep, you are eating good food, you are stress free, you are not overthinking a lot. You need to have faith in your own preparation. Guys, this is a very rigorous plan. And if you follow this plan to the T, you can actually ensure that you have very high chances of acing this test. So if you have followed each and every activity as we have recommended, then on a Sunday you can actually be stress free and you should have confidence in your preparation. Now this was a video on the next 30 days plan for your Maharashtra CET. You should subscribe to our channel to be updated with such more informative videos. If you have any particular doubts regarding this CET or regarding the preparation plan, feel free to put a comment in this particular video. Our team will definitely reach out to you and address all your queries.